That got captured. Like, that's the
Great.
first sound of VYTALCast.
Great.
It's
Great.
like, hey, I'm hitting live. I'm like, well, that's gotta be on the show. Hey everyone, how are you?
Hello.
I'm just tweeting out the link right
I
now.
should probably do that.
Yeah, you could just retweet me or something. I don't know. But yeah,
I'll do both.
yeah. Yeah, so we got Discord working now. So
Yay.
that took a while to figure out. And I had to crop Sunny's window, so if you're wondering why she looks a little
What do I
wide.
look like?
I mean, you look fine. You're just more rectangle than I am.
Oh my god, I'm so rectangle.
It was like, this is what Discord forced me to do. It like, you know the little side where it shows like all your friends and then it shows all the servers you're a part of?
Yeah.
I couldn't get rid of that, so it's like, well, I'm gonna
Is
have to
there no way
crop that
to
out.
crop it?
I
Like
cropped it
crop
out
out
in
everything else?
OBS.
Oh.
Yeah, so in OBS I cropped it out, and
Woo.
then I had to stretch out your window to cover the background of VYTALCast. So, anyway, Spectre Who says widescreen Sunny. Yeah, so hello everyone. We're gonna talk about chapter 1 and the Yang short today. You saw RWBY Rewind, you said, right?
Uh, basically, I heard that they showed a preview of the next episode, so basically all I saw was the preview of the
Oh,
next
okay.
episode.
Hold on. I'm trying to hunt down my tweet from 2 seconds ago. Apparently, people don't like VYTALCast because I lost a follower. No, just kidding. I did not lose a follower. No, phone. Do you not know how to copy? Okay, so I got a new phone. It's an Android. It's not as
Nice.
fancy as Apple. Just kidding. It's nice. I just can't get it to copy stuff. I want to post to Instagram because now I got an Instagram.
Nice.
But yeah, it's not letting me do anything. Wait, actually, what is that?
I
Oh yeah, that's my new
retweeted your
ringtone.
tweet.
Okay, yeah, I was like, that's my ringtone. Okay, I forgot. I could just
So
go into the YouTube app and copy the link. Oh no, I don't have a picture to take for Instagram. Never mind. Forget that.
So, what did everyone think of the Yang video and
I
chapter 1?
I thought Yang was beautiful.
She is.
Is it just me, or did her hair look more defined in the trailer than it did in Volume 4?
There was something about it. It just looked really good.
Yeah, I was like, that hair. Like, like that makes me sound like I'm really into like hair, but it's just like, it was very noticeable to me. I was like, her
Yeah.
hair, it looks 3D. Like, actually, all of them look 3D. Like, that was one thing that's just slightly bothered me. Like, I like the new art style since Volume 4, but Volume 5's animation seems more 3D than Volume 4 did. Does that?
Yeah, like they're definitely still improving. It's really good.
Yeah, there's more depth on the screen because in Volume 4, it was like, man, I feel like I'm watching a 2D image. It
Yeah.
just felt very flat, but now it's like, hey, it's 3D again. Like, I really like the change. The animation team's been putting in a lot of hard work, so I appreciate you, RWBY. The strike drugs like Maya is bae. Yeah, I think most of the animation team was trained on Maya, so that's why they switched to Maya, but it just kind of took a while to figure out exactly what they wanted things to look like in Maya and all that. So yeah. Do you have any favorite parts from the Yang trailer?
Oh, from the Yang trailer? I don't know. Like with the character shorts and the trailers, it's kind of short and it's all kind of one thing, so it's hard for me to pick a favorite part. But I guess I really liked the new music because I always like the new music.
The music was definitely like the best part for me. Like, Strike Drunk said he's kind of drunk. Well, glad you prepared for this show. We all, if you're at legal age, that's probably what you need to do to enjoy this show. Not RWBY VYTALCast. But I'm talking about us. For me, it was like the music was my favorite thing, and then my second favorite thing was like we get to see more sister interaction between RWBY and Yang.
Yeah.
Because
And it was actually like it took me a second to register that all of that was before
that was
anything
volume
from
before volume
episode
one.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like only Blake's trailer, to an extent, was like after any of the series. Blake's was more modern day. Blake's was like running a menagerie and like chasing down a dude, but you had Ilya talking about pre-volume 1 events. So it's like, okay, so we're hearing about before volume 1, but we're seeing after volume 4. Like,
yeah.
If anything, it seemed like the visuals of the Blake trailer was like the right before her part in chapter 1, which
yeah. That makes sense.
Strike Chug's like, I'm going to be oh, he's going to be 25? Yeah, that's legal. Legal is 21 in America, so you're good.
Yeah.
I think America has like one of the highest drinking ages. Like
yeah.
Yeah, it's like most of Europe is like 16 or 18, depending on which place. But yeah, I wonder what it is in Remnant, because that comment was made towards Yang in chapter 1. Like,
yeah.
Aren't you a little young to be drinking? She's like, did she ask for water?
Oh yeah, the guy was like, "Aren't you young to be drinking?" And then she's like, "Give me a water."
Yeah, she's like, "I didn't even order
it's
yet,
hot
punk."
outside.
Yeah. Okay, so Verif is saying all 3 had bits of both before volume 1 and after volume 4. The difference was in how much. Yeah, I mean, because like we saw Weiss down with the luggage and all that, but like I kind of considered moments like that was just to be like I don't know. It's weird because can I explain like a weird thing my mind goes through when I watch shows? So I had this especially with watching Arrow. So Arrow season 2, I mean Arrow does like half the episode in flashback, half the episode in present day, and like the flashbacks are always connected to the present day somehow. And it always said like starring Katie Lotz, who played Sarah in the show, except for some reason my mind would keep fighting the logic that she was starring in the show because she was only in the flashback parts. I'm like, no, she's not in this episode. She's in the flashbacks. That's not in the episode. Like, my mind would fight that. So this is like reverse that. Like, my mind was fighting the present day parts for the trailers. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Like, now that you talk about it, I think that's gonna get stuck in my head. Like, I'm gonna show a flashback, and I'm gonna be like, "What? No!"
Like when it showed like Weiss sitting in the ship, I was like, all right, the trailer's over. Now we're just seeing Volume 5. That's what I was thinking. I was
basically.
like, nah, that wasn't in the trailer. It's like, I don't know, like I'm aware of it now, but like my mind would actively fight that. So if we had a RWBY episode and it had a flashback where it showed like maybe summer, I was about to say winter, if it showed Summer Rose, I would have been like, oh, Summer Rose wasn't in that episode, she was in a flashback. Like, she wasn't in Volume 5, she was in a flashback. No, like my mind
what
would
about the episode
fight that.
the episode from Volume 3 where was the villain's flashback, like right after Yang and Mercury's fight.
You're like, that didn't happen in Volume 3.
Like, Adam wasn't in this episode, he was in a flashback.
Yeah, so like, yeah, the villains episode, I would think like, yeah, timeline-wise, it wasn't in Volume 3, so that's kind of like where part of the logic of my brain goes, but it's like, it hurts. It gives me a physical headache, because it's like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But it's right. But it's wrong.
Oh my god.
Just take a sledgehammer right down the middle of my head. Okay, so what are some of the comments say? Oh my gosh.
Talk about Yang's age.
Yang dusting Papa Bear was sexy. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then I said, well, she is 18. No, Yang was 17 in Volume 1, I believe. So she should, if anything, yeah, Stork Drug's right. If anything, she's now 18. And then Verif said that kind of mind works about the Kiryugi episode. Oh, Kuro Kuro Yuri episode. Gosh, dang, why?
Kuro Yuri.
Yes, thank you. Japanese should be very simple to say, but for whatever reason, my brain's been vomiting words when I read stuff now. I used to be very good at like reading something out loud. Like English is for some reason hard for me to read out loud sometimes. Like there was a word earlier. Oh, someone posted about bronies, but I was reading it like brownies, and I was like brownies. I'm like they're spelling brownie wrong. And then I was like, wait, no, brony. Yeah. So anyway, someone was posting a meme, but okay, Ruby didn't happen. It's all a flashback. You still can't pronounce it, David? No, my brain is just having a brain fart. And
it's the end of the week.
Yeah, it's the end of the week. Gosh. And I've been having like these dizzy spells. Like I actually saw a doctor earlier today about these dizzy spells. It might be in relation to that. And I just bought this card game. I wanted to give it a shout out. It's called Japanese the Game. It's a card game that teaches you Japanese. And like,
wow.
Yeah, and yeah, anyway, it's like, yeah, I just started playing that recently. So if anything, I should be getting better with Japanese.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach myself.
Yeah. Okay, so wait, Strike Drugs just said AKA gay for lady horses? What the heck?
Bronies?
Yeah, okay. So
I guess.
So one user is asking, he just got here, what did he miss? We said Yang's hair looks nice. Music was the best thing about Yang's trailer. We like the sister moment between Yang and Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
All the trailers happened before Volume 1 even. And Yang's drinking age. And my mind on how to, like, fight stuff. Like, where, like, people say, well, technically, stuff like showing Yang on the bike or Weiss in the ship during the Weiss and Yang trailers. My brain kind of argues whether that was actually in the trailer or not, because the trailers were like prequels, like flashbacks, but then the ending parts were like present day volume 5, and my mind would fight that logic of the present day stuff was anyway. Jerk said, don't worry, David, I'm pretty blind too. Yeah, and then you basically came in when someone said that they think like the Kuro Yuri didn't actually happen in volume 4 because timeline wise it was,
I mean, it didn't happen in volume 4.
Yeah, it showed in volume 4, but timeline wise it wasn't. So yeah, that's where you came in. I was getting all tongue tied over Kuro Yuri, and anyway.
Do we want to start like going through episode 1?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, actually, something I remember, like, when I was seeing the episode, I thought of this. It was you who came up with it, or someone in the chat last week said Lionheart was playing both sides.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that. I think he's being manipulated.
Yes.
But he's kind of working both sides.
Yeah, I said he was very much a pushover, and quite a lot of people in the chat were saying the same thing, so...
Like, if he's based off the Cowardly Lion, right?
Yeah, so I was like,
basically.
Dude, okay, so for tomorrow's reaction video that I need to edit right after this, because I was actually trying to edit it beforehand, but then I realized I needed to set up VYTALCast, and then it took me 2 hours to figure out how to get Discord to show up on OBS.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm simple-minded like that. There's gonna be a part where, like, I'm gonna be like, the school's gonna be abandoned. Like, I basically was like saying everything that happened with Lionheart before it actually happened, and it's like,
oh, nice.
So it's like, great. It's not gonna look like this was like, they're gonna be like, you watched the episode before you recorded, didn't you? No, watch VYTALCast number 27, which is back up on YouTube.
Yay!
It's there. Yeah, gosh. VYTALCast 27. Let's not talk about that. Actually, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, Lionheart. Anyway, any thoughts about him you had?
I don't know. He seems cool. I like his design. I
think
he's pretty cowardly. Cause like, how do you get a school headmaster that was part of Ozpin's like inside team dealing with the bad
enemy.
Guys?
Dude,
like
they're holding something over his head, I think. And I think with the Spring Maiden leaving 10 years ago, they said, right? She left. I think that definitely hurt like his what is it? Like definitely hurt his ego. Not his ego. I had the
Just
word.
like he felt like he had failed.
Yeah,
something.
basically like you know, hurt his confidence in himself, basically.
Yeah.
And so now he's trying to do. I think he has the best intentions for his people in his kingdom,
Mhm.
and that if he could side with the villains, then his kingdom and village and school is not going to be destroyed and all that. I think that's going to be the motivation mostly behind him betraying, because right now it does look like Ozpin's side is going to be the losing side because Beacon fell
Mhm.
as if it was nothing. So
Yeah.
it was probably
And
very easy.
I had a thought and then I kind of lost it. I was thinking like if Lionheart just wants to protect like his people and I guess for all intents and purposes I'll just say his city, um, like he would just kind of not go against the villains directly because he's like, I don't want people to get hurt. I'm a coward. So basically, at this point, it would be the villains are running the city behind the scenes, so they don't really need to do an invasion. I don't know. I'm not good at like thinking
Yeah,
this stuff
yeah,
out,
no,
but you
like if
basically get the gist.
yeah, basically if he planned stuff so like basically trying to minimize the damage that could be done and like hey, you know, if I side with the winning team and we coordinate this, then they don't have to like go crazy like they did in Beacon to get what they
Yeah.
want. They could still I'm guessing the most part is he's Watts is having him somewhat trick Crow into leading him towards the Spring Maiden, and
Mhm.
then he'll get the Spring Maiden to get the relic, and then like whatever else happens. That's what I'm guessing is going to be happening with Lionheart.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and I'm guessing like how he was like, oh, we have to wait for reinforcements to come before we could go see the Bronwyn clan and get the Spring Maiden. I bet he was really saying like, I'm waiting till Salem's people get here and you lead us there. Like basically people that are all undercover to trick Crow, but
Yeah.
Crow's impatience is probably going to be hard for him to deal with.
Yeah, because now that like Oscar's there, like they're gonna want to accomplish something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Strike Drug. You really drank quite a bit before this, didn't you? He said Salem looks hotter in Maya.
Oh my.
But he had a comment earlier, which was a random thought. It said, "Was Summer Rose the Dorothy of this story?" And uh, I guess that could also explains why, if
Yeah.
she was the Dorothy, because Dorothy had a little dog, and is why I'm assuming was like he could have been got when like Ruby and Yang were little, which means Summer could have still been around.
True.
Could have been Summer's dog. Could have been the dog she got before she and Ty hooked up and all that. So
Yeah. Okay. B Master Four says, anyone want to hear a theory about Lionheart? Sure.
he
I'll listen to your theory. We'll listen
does
to your theory, but
does he
uh,
get a little thing of courage at the end of Volume 5?
maybe.
Ozpin comes back from behind the curtain and he's like, "To you, I present a deed of courage."
Oh my gosh. And also, Verev says Watts now knows where the maiden is because Leo copied the map.
Yeah, I saw that. Like he hit like a little key, and I was like, "Oh, he just Command C or Control C that file."
And
Crow.
that that also reminds me, when Watts popped up like with his little voice, you saw there was that curly W like
Yeah, I
hologram
think that's
thing.
his like company logo. Like he's probably the CEO. Sorry, you go on about what you thought.
Oh, it's just I saw someone posted on Facebook. That's actually there's actually that exact same logo when before the bad stuff in Volume 3 happened and Cinder
Oh.
found Penny's schematics, or she was just looking at a bunch of data. They had that W in the corner of the scroll, so it's like there's a
Oh.
connection there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it could have been possible that she was connected to Watts and was like communicating to Watts and like screen sharing or something.
Yeah, I feel like out of all the villains we've seen, Watts would be like the tech guy.
Yeah, no, I mean his name's Watts, like, and it's spelled like the electricity measurement watt,
Yeah.
and like with Cinder with the scroll having that little symbol on the corner, it's kind of like how right now on the Discord you see the Portal 64 logo on your window. That lights up when I'm talking. It's kind of showing like who you're connected to.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure for you, if you're looking at Discord, it's showing like your own profile picture from that. Okay, so back to what Beatmaster said. Well, what if Lionheart is a double agent, but not in the way we think in the trailer? We see him attacked, and in the theme song, we see the weapon and Watts in the background. So what if he's leading the villains on, or will betray them? I kind of doubt that, to be honest.
For me, I think that's kind of plausible, but if he's really a coward, then I don't think he would accomplish his goal if that's what his goal was. Like, if he wants to be like a double agent.
Yeah.
But like, if he doesn't have the willpower to carry it out, he's probably gonna fail.
Yeah, I personally think he's gonna get caught by Crow or someone, and basically he's gonna be called out and kind of forced to go against the villains, or like expose the villains. Like, I don't think he's gonna willingly go against the villains unless someone knew he's working with the villains. So that's just kind of my take. Yeah, someone said why he's getting choked out in the trailer. Wait. Oh, was he getting choked out in the trailer?
Yeah, in the trailer, what we assume is Watts' weapon. It's like this whip thing, and like Lionheart's getting choked.
We did this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just gonna pull up the trailer again.
Okay.
5 trailer. Rooster Teeth. Since reaction popped up above that. It was like nope. Okay. If only I had the timestamp for it. Okay, I see Lionheart. He's pointing his finger up. They're running.
I think the choke part is later on.
Later on? Okay.
I think. While you're finding that, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I saw some comment somewhere, probably on Facebook, in the final RWBY group I'm in, because the rest are trash, honestly. People were saying that after Lionheart said that Haven was also kind of under attack after all the negativity after the fall of Beacon, and like things are really dire, and like not everyone's doing so well. It's basically what he said. But then like they showed us like the happy village people, and like everyone looked cool and like happy. So I don't really know if there's like disconnect there, or if people are like trying to be happy so the Grim don't come attack again, but there's not really a lot of evidence that like Haven was affected at all.
Yeah, okay. So I found the screenshot everyone's talking about. So I'm pulling it up. Like, hey, look. There he is being choked by like a whip rope thing. Look how big his eyes are. That's the look of fear. Anyway, okay. Sorry.
And that is the same weapon that shows up in the opening song.
Yeah, I recognized it from the opening song. It was just like when people were saying like in the trailer, I was like, wait, in the trailer? But basically, I avoided the trailer till last week on VYTALCast to try to avoid any potential spoilers and like try to go into chapter 1 as blind as I could, because I was kind of expecting most of the trailer to be what's going to show in chapter 1, which wasn't the case actually. So who knows? It might be tomorrow we see him get that choke out, or probably not till chapter 3 or chapter 4.
I know stuff that happens in the next episode.
Do you now?
From the RWBY Rewind.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
Sure. I basically only know 2 things. Like, first of all, anyone can go see this. The thumbnail for the episode has Salem in it, so I think we're gonna finally get some more villains in this episode.
Yeah, it's Arnold posting that on Twitter.
Yeah. And the second thing is RWBY Rewind. They posted like or they had in there like a 2-minute clip, and it was Weiss. They're on the ship, and they're finally at the place of the floating islands with the gravity dust,
Okay,
which
that I
they
remember.
do say it's gravity.
That I remember from the trailer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a spicy-looking new Grimm.
Ooh.
I don't know if like people don't want me to spoil it, but I don't know.
Okay, don't spoil it if people don't want you to spoil it. We'll see it tomorrow. I mean, it's only less than 24 hours away, which is like half a lifetime if you're a Grimm in one of the trailers. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of dumb jokes. Oh, can I say something that I did not like about Blake's part in chapter 1?
Sure.
It was more tell, not show. Like, son and her father busted, and they're like, I can't believe they got away with that. And it's like, wait, what happened? And then you don't find out till Blake talks to Ilya that there was like some sort of court showing with the 2 other guys, the creepy guys in red hoods. Corsic and Finnick. And they like put all the blame onto Ilya, and like Ilya took the downfall for whatever happened. It's like, wait a second, what happened? Why was there a court showing? Why couldn't we have just seen this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then like the way the dialogue was written, it was like, oh hey, we have to put in some exposition. So Blake, talk about like someone else is watching you and they have no idea what's going on. So like give out a whole bunch of details that you probably wouldn't say in a real conversation.
Yeah, that, and I really just wanted to punch Ilya in the face. Like,
why?
Because she was like, your plan won't work, Blake. I'm like, yeah, because you're in the freaking way. Like, join Blake. You're probably like the one that's holding the plan back. Like, you don't know that unless you try. Like, it's like,
but I mean,
her main motivation for being on that side is because like no one could stop them, so might as well be them, or might as well just stand on the sidelines with their jersey on. Like, I was like, Ilya.
No, I mean, it was interesting to see that obviously there is some lingering loyalty. Like, Ilya was trying to warn Blake, like, your plan's just not gonna work. Like, before you get into this mess and hurt, just, like, leave Menagerie.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I want to protect my old childhood friend, but it was also kind of like, you know, if you want to help protect your friend, pull a son and, like, join her and help protect her by fighting with her instead of just being on the sidelines.
I think at that point, like, if Ilya's actually involved with the White Fang and what they're doing, if she were to desert, someone could come kill her.
Yeah, like, she's definitely being used. Like I know once I see, like, more backstory and more motivation from Ilya, I'll be like, okay. But from that scene alone, I was like, Ilya, I want to slap the silly out of you. Like,
I didn't have that intensive of a reaction.
I mean, I didn't have it in that moment, other than like the plan's not gonna work because you're help preventing Blake's plan from working. Like, you're protecting the White Fang from Blake. Like, let Blake do her thing, yo. And sorry,
I heard a fancy phone noise.
Yeah, my phone did a fancy noise.
Hunt SD says, I swear if Blake's arc is just talk again and not show, I'll be pissed. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, and that's basically my big criticism of, like, her part in the episode. It was like more talk rather than show, and I'm like, gosh dang it, guys. Like, this is why a lot of people aren't liking Blake. A lot of the writing for her gets, like, botched up because it's not that. And
yeah, Blake's writing hasn't really been anything spectacular, especially lately, I think.
Like, Blake is in my top 3 favorite characters. Like, every time I do Beacon Ship, do you know what Beacon Ship is?
Yes, and they haven't updated it in a while, and I'm so emo.
Yeah. So, yeah, in Beacon Ship is always Pyrrhic Nikos, Ruby Rose, and then Blake Belladonna. Although sometimes Blake is above Ruby, other times it's not. And yes, chat, that was a Persona 5 reference. As you could see, hold on, gonna get these notifications out of the way. So my new lock screen paper is that, and then there so you can see it, and that's like my wallpaper when I'm in my phone. And then my ringtone is the ringtone from Persona 5. So yes. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, Blake.
Blake.
One of my favorite people. And like a lot of people don't like her, which is a shame. Like I love Blake and she must be protected. Like out of Team RWBY, it's like between her and Ruby that I will probably get along with most as friends. And it's just like people like Blake's a really good person. Although for some people why they don't like Blake is because like, oh, she's so social justice warrior and stuff. And it's like, well, because of reactions like that, we need more Blakes in this world. Like, Blake is just so important. And
yeah.
Anyway, it's just like, guys, we need to have her scenes done better. Like, I don't know, they have her going back and forth a lot, which I could understand because I've worked with people going through life changes, and you do go back and forth a lot. Like, it's hard to break old habits, but in a show, people like to see more consistency or better ways of that wavering back and forth, because it does get a little more drastic, but oh well.
Okay, Verif says just because show is good doesn't mean talk is bad. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, you need dialogue to like get through a story pretty much. But just if you're constantly just giving out exposition and important events just by a character saying, "Oh yeah, this happened," then it's not nearly as interesting, in my opinion, as it would be if we see that all fleshed out and see all the ramifications of it. And just another thing before I forget, it's kind of related. Like, you say you really like Blake and RWBY, and I appreciate them as characters, but honestly, I think they're at least the two weakest characters on Team RWBY, and I think it's just because what?
Two weakest as like writing or fighting?
Yeah,
or...
writing.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And especially character development. Like, I saw a comment on the
RWBY is very, No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I saw a comment on the Rooster Teeth website a few minutes ago. Well, like, I don't know, a while ago when I was recapping last week's content. And someone was like, okay, RWBY literally hasn't changed. Like, she almost got her uncle killed. She saw Pyrrha die in front of her. And, like, all this random crap. And RWBY's still like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, things are bad, but they'll get better. We'll work hard. Like, she hasn't changed at all.
And, you know, people actually called that out at RTX. Do you remember that? During the questionnaire?
Oh no, I don't remember that.
Okay, so at RTX, at the RWBY panel on Friday, it was the same. You and I were at the same one. I know because I saw you walking around with your camera dressed up as Oscar. And I tried saying hi, but I was like, sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
You had a VIP badge, didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you were a VIP for that. But anyway, someone asked them, like, hey, you know, RWBY hasn't changed that much throughout the show. Like, she's always acting so positive, even after the death of Penny and Pyrrha in the same day. Like, when are we going to see some sort of development in RWBY? And Lindsay was the one that really answered. And Lindsay said part of RWBY is like if you just act happy, you'll be happy, and like try to like, I'm paraphrasing, I could be wording it wrong, like the way I'm wording it might have a slightly different meaning.
I get what you're saying though.
But she's saying like that type of thinking is going to catch up to her very soon, and we are going to see like RWBY break down a bit, which it's like that's going to be painful to watch, but we kind of need it.
Yeah, and like when that happens, and if it's done well and like reasonably, like these events lead up to this thing that happens, like that'll make sense and I'll be grateful for it. But just like as of now, they haven't even shown us that it's like RWBY's being happy just for the sake of trying to be positive. Like, I feel like it could have been explained better if we saw maybe one just short scene where it's like RWBY's hanging out with her friends and she's all happy, and then she's like, okay guys, I'll be right back. Like, she goes to her room, whatever, it doesn't matter. But then she just like looks all sad and like is upset when she's all by herself, like not having to be happy. But like we literally have no evidence of that. So just someone saying at RTX she's doing it just because, it doesn't really like add up for me.
Yeah. And, you know, something you said kind of reminds me of the scene of in Volume 2 with Weiss in the elevator when she calls the Schnee Dust
Yeah.
Company, and you see her smile go to, like, you know, kind of sad right after. I think we need just, like, a little moment like that with RWBY every now and then. Just, like, even if we just had that in Volume 4, which I think we sort of had that when we saw her wake up from her dreams and she saw Jean training, but other than that, we haven't seen it too much to really know, yeah, it's having an effect on her, because she's been more focused on others rather than herself.
Yeah, Verev says...
Yeah, and Verev's
you
saying,
had that when... Yeah. But see, that situation, I don't really count that because it's like they're kind of in a dire situation anyway.
Yeah, and she was still more focused on how Jean is doing and how Juniper is doing rather than herself. And
I don't know, like...
Jean was basically telling her, yo, you gotta take care of yourself. And she's like, but you experienced all that too. Like, she's still putting her attention on them. So, yeah, Jean has been getting a lot of character development, which I really like Jean, but we need to take a little bit of screen time away from him to get characters like RWBY to have their full fleshed out development, because I feel like, and like, I don't just feel like, I know it, because like a lot of people have graphed this out, but people that have like the most lines and screen time, it went from like Volume 1 and 2, RWBY by far had the most, but then Jean was like catching up, and then like once Volume 3 hit, it was like almost tied between RWBY and Jean, to now like Volume 4 was like so diversified that it was like RWBY doesn't have nearly as much time as she used to have on screen or dialogue wise, and it's just like she's supposed to be the main character, or at least Team RWBY, so it's just really weird to see like Jean just like get a whole lot. And Inspector Who said like Jean didn't do a whole lot in the episode. Oh, and he said, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, it's like like Jean, like I cosplay as Jean. Obviously I love him, but it's like he is kind of starting to be, or I shouldn't be saying starting.
He's getting emo.
He's kind of a kryptonite to RWBY, the show. Whereas like in Volume 1, on like how once they had the Emerald Forest fight, he had his own arc, and then in Volume 2 he had his own arc, and Volume 3 I didn't mind it because it was kind of more focused on his relationship with Pyrrha, and kind of more focused on like Pyrrha going through the Fall Maiden stuff. But
yeah, but see, like the whole Jean's development in Volume 3, I feel like they all just like crunch that in because it's like, okay, Pyrrha's gonna die, let's get in some emotional moments.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, if Pyrrha's moments in Volume 2 and Volume 1 weren't so revolved around Jean, you know?
Yeah, like people always talk about like Pyrrha's development is solely based around Jean.
Yeah, and Strike jokes like, ha, Jean Arc. Yeah, it's like, why do you think his last name's actually Arc? We thought he was based off of Joan of Arc? No, it's because he gets his own arc. No. So much so that it's in his name. But yeah, okay, so Inspector Who Reacts says, I love Jean, but I feel like he may be more background this volume. I think so too, just from what we got in Chapter 1. Because other than like RWBY, the rest of Ranger was pretty much background and had like same amount of lines and screen time, so that was nice.
Yeah, I liked it.
But now I'm afraid RWBY's screen time is gonna get stolen by Oscar.
Okay, but is that really a problem?
Maybe not for you. But it's like who's the main character of this show? No, that's kind of needed, but like I think in my reaction video, like once I see it in editing, I'm pretty sure like there was something that happened between RWBY and Oscar that I'm like, oh boy, the shippers are gonna have a heyday with that.
They already are.
Yeah, no, I know, but there was like one little thing that happened that made me go, oh boy, the shippers must really love that one little thing that happened. It was like,
What was that?
it was like, I can't remember if it was when he was talking to her at the door, like she opened the door and was like, who is this guy? But it was like, hey, is Ruby Rose here? I'll have to rewatch the episode to see exactly what it was, but I just remember there's one part where she and him had like a slight interaction, and I'm like, oh boy, the shippers.
Yeah, like people were shipping it ever since Oscar like
showed
existed.
up. Yeah, which is why I'm like, the shippers are gonna be crazy because I know they ship it so much. But it was like he pointed at the silver eyes things, which I was like, oh no, like because with me at least, one of the first things I notice about a girl is her eyes, and I'm like, oh boy. The shippers, the shippers. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We were talking about Jean a second ago, and I have a question.
Okay, shoot.
How and why would Jean know who Raven is and what her relationship to Yang is?
I think I even said that in my reaction video. So I'm just having like deja vu's now. Yeah, I really questioned that too. And like he was like, "What about Yang?" He's like, "Raven, Yang's mom," and it was like, "Wait." Yeah. I'm like, does Ruby even know Raven is Yang's mom? Because in Volume 2, it almost sounded like Yang was like, "Ruby doesn't know we don't have the same mom," and it was like kind of something the fandom knew, but it was like the fandom was like, "Wait, Ruby doesn't know? Oh boy, you know."
So. I mean, I feel like Ruby would know because at some point they probably talked about it. I mean, they're sisters and they live together. But like,
yeah, and Yang just lets it slip. Oh no.
Yeah, but like, why is there any reason Ruby would tell Jean that like, oh yeah, Yang's mom is like this bandit lady and she goes out and kills people? Like, why? Why does Jean know?
Yeah, it's like what the heck? Like maybe he saw like a wanted
Crow
poster.
Told them.
Sorry. Maybe. I mean, Crow mentioned Raven in Volume 4, but it wasn't like any explicit detail. It was kind of like he said something. Yeah. It was during the campfire scene.
I mean, I guess it makes sense if Crow told them. I don't know how to word this. Like, if Crow was talking to them a lot about the Spring Maiden, then he might be like, okay, this bandit lady has the Spring Maiden. And then maybe Crow was like, yeah, okay, and this bandit lady, see, she's Yang's mom. Like, but I don't really see that being an important detail.
I don't think he would even mention it. Like, if anything, he mentioned that he and Raven are twins. And Spider KP said off-screen, lol. But it's like, again, that'll be something that would have been more effective seeing it on screen. Just to be like, I mean, if Ruby was to have, if that was to cause a change in Ruby, you know, that could have been a good character development for Ruby. Having this, like, distrust all of a sudden, going like, wait, Yang and I don't have the same mom? And then, like, that causes a small rift between the sisters, and then they get over it. I don't know. I've watched a lot of Supernatural. That's how a lot of Sam and Dean's stuff goes.
Oh my gosh.
You lied about the vampire chick, so she's hot. Okay, I can't blame you there. High five, buddy. Yeah.
Okay, can we take a second to appreciate really drunk Crow?
Yes. Dude,
I love him.
I'm surprised like Oscar wasn't crushed by his body weight when he was like, I found him.
Yeah.
Like, totally tackled him. I'm like, oh my gosh, his spine's gonna break.
And I really liked Vic's voice acting there. Like, yeah. I don't know what, it was funny
was
and adorable.
Yeah. Vic, like, just Crow on the couch, like, woo. Like,
wait for it.
And it was like, yes, this is the side of Crow I wanted to see more. Like, oh man, it has me so excited for like Crow in Volume 5, like seeing more Crow. Like, I got that in Volume 4, but I'm excited for getting more of that in Volume 5, and it's like, yay. Because now he's not like following them, he's like actually in the group, and it's kind of like, I don't know if he's like the Hagrid of the group or the Dumbledore. I guess he's Maybe the Professor Lupin? No, Sirius Black. He's more like Sirius Black.
I haven't seen or read that in so long, so I don't remember.
Okay, well, it's just how Sirius Black is like a father figure, but also kind of like a who cares about the rules kind of guy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I meant, because I was like, wait, Lupin cares more about the rules, and he's an outcast. Dumbledore, yeah, no, that's more of the Ozpin character, but yeah. Wait. Vic never drank in his life? What?
I mean, I didn't know that.
He's really good at imitating drunk people if he's never been drunk before, but like I think you probably know more than I do, Sonny, but isn't Vic religious in some sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that would explain why. Cuz do you happen to know which? I thought I heard know. Catholic, but Catholics could drink without any problem in their religion, so...
Yeah, all I know is I saw a video of him on Facebook shouting at some, like, I don't know, anti-gay protesters
or something. He shouted at anti-gay protesters?
Yeah, he was saying,
making sure I'm getting that straight.
Yeah, like, he was saying stuff like, God loves everyone. I don't know exactly, but, like, he was...
I would agree with him on that. Yeah. I would agree with him on that. Because I know a lot of people used to say there was a big controversy when it was announced him voicing Crow. Like, there was, like, the side that was like, yeah, Vic, it's Ed from Full Metal Alchemist. And then there was, like, this side on Tumblr that was like, no, we hate Vic. And it was like, but once Volume 3 came out, like, I think that all hushed out, so...
Yeah, like, he's a really good voice actor, but I've heard he's kind of not a great person, like, to meet.
I mean, you saw the RWBY panel at RTX. He seems to be a little full of himself. Like,
maybe a little bit.
He kept shoving himself into the panel every now and then. Like, the question will be pointed towards someone, and then he'll be, like, the one answering. It's like, Vic, that question was for Barbara. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, no, Vic seems like a friendly guy. I've just heard some interesting things about, like, his like, he won't sign certain fan art, which I can understand, but a lot of people were like, oh, he's homophobic. I'm like, well, from the sounds of it, it sounds like it was very Yuri type fan art, like, you know, not just like Ed and another guy holding hands or something. It was like they were you know.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, no, like, I think, you know, anyone has the right to deny signing a certain piece of art. It's like, hey, I won't sign that, but I'll sign something else. You know, like, I don't want to sign, like, any NSFW stuff.
Yeah, and just at RTX, he was charging an extra $20 for his autograph session.
Yeah, I think that has to do more with, like, the agency he's with as a voice actor. Because
maybe.
Because if you remember at the RWBY panel, he also said, hey, at like 2 o'clock in this room, I'll be signing and taking pictures with you guys for free. And it was like a unofficial signing. Which to me, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. The other part of me was like, man, those poor people that paid $20, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I guess they had, like, the security of, like, knowing they were actually going to meet him, whereas the other thing was, like, he probably was doing for, like, 10 minutes, and it's like, all right, I'm out of time. I gotta go, guys. Yeah, and, okay, Connor said something nice. He said, I personally don't listen to rumors, which, yeah, I don't listen to that either. And I actually saw some videos of, like, Vic responding to some of it, and some of it sounded like, yeah, because, like, it was kind of like, imagine Vic was having a conversation with someone, and they had a request. Part of it was like, someone saw Vic yelling at a fan, holding, like, a certain type of body pillow, but Vic said that fan was holding up their phone and had requested him to, like, yell as Ed from Full Metal Alchemist, towards, like, to be targeted towards, like, another voice actor, because, like, he and this other voice actor are friends. And, like, they do this thing where, like, they yell at each other as their characters. And so, like, they do it over the internet. And so Vic was like, no, like, I was requested to do that, but some people saw me from, afar, not knowing the context of what was going on, saw me yelling at some fan, and they thought I was yelling at the fan because of, like, a certain fan art or something that they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like me. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's a good voice actor. I don't care. I can't change anything. Like,
Yeah,
he does a
honestly,
fantastic
like,
job as Crow. So it's like I don't care.
yeah, like, I don't get obsessed with people in that way, especially voice actors. Like, if they have a good voice and they're like working on this show and like they're cool, good voice, like
Yeah.
I don't care what they do in their
And
personal life.
also from like just knowing Rooster Teeth, if he did have a history of being a certain way like that, then I don't think Rooster Teeth would have even dabbled with hiring him. So
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. And yeah. Strike Joke said I've never really had an opinion on Vic. I mean, other than like I like his work, and like obviously he's been a huge part of my childhood, and like some of my few but fond moments with my dad, because he and I would watch Full Metal Alchemist. So obviously, like, I like him a lot for a lot of the stuff he's done. Okay, so yeah, someone in the chat said people do request him to do Ed's short rant a lot. So yeah, I think it was just him being requested, and it got like misinformed, because I remember seeing a video on YouTube of him having like a small panel just for him, and he basically explained that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Weiss didn't get a whole lot of screen time in the chapter.
Nah, I think it was mostly just leading up to what's gonna happen in the next episode.
Yeah. Part of me was thinking, like, oh, they're gonna get lured into a trap, or, like, something, but then instead, you know, it was kind of disappointing to see Weiss sad that she couldn't really go out and help other people. And I think the next episode, why we see, like, you said it's going to be the floating island part.
Yeah.
Did the ship look like it was going fast during that or not? Like,
Weiss's
as if they were in a yeah.
Like,
they were in a rush or something.
I mean,
when a ship's flying close to water and water goes flying up, it's like hard to tell.
No, it's not that part.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's related, but it didn't get that intense.
Yeah, because I was thinking like maybe Weiss finally like stands up and takes control of the ship, like commands the guy to go do it or something, but
maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat and I'm like, okay, people are still talking about Vic. I tried talking about Weiss. Weiss didn't have a whole lot, but I'm hoping next episode she gets a little
They're
bit
also
more.
talking about the guy who was with Yang at the gas station, the like
the guy with the missing tooth.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah,
he
so
reminds
like,
me of a lot of people.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I remember last week we basically said that we thought that guy was just gonna be like some annoying dude, and like in one episode, but
we're gonna see him tomorrow episode, right?
I mean, probably, because he was like, I heard you're looking for someone, and like, you don't leave a character that's not gonna ever be shown again saying something like that.
Yeah, unless they're a waitress. Like, he's probably gonna lead her to Raven. He kind of looks like he might be a bandit himself, or someone who works with the bandits from time to time.
Yeah, it was hard for me I still don't know what I think about what his alliance is, because he looks shady and he totally looks like he could be a bandit, but at the same time, it's like maybe he's just a creepy dude and he's like, hey, you're a pretty lady, I'm gonna follow you around and let's fight some bandits. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna either lead her into a trap or actually help her with Raven, but like try to like get something out of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and okay, so someone's saying Weiss must be protected. She is best girl. I agree with a lot of that. And then Stoic Joke said Weiss is more soft spoken now. Oh, actually, that was something I noticed, because if this was like anywhere between volumes 1 and 2, and mostly 3, she would be more demanding about turning the ship. So
yeah,
I don't really know what that says about her being more soft spoken in that situation, though. Like, maybe she knows how to pick her fights better. Like, okay, I see we're at a disadvantage if we try to help these people, or maybe she's just more submissive, which really wouldn't make it. I highly doubt it's the more submissive, because like her whole arc in Volume 4 was about breaking out of the cage, so that'd be counterproductive. Oh, also, I saw a question before VYTALCast. Someone asked, is Yang looking for Raven? And I think the answer was pretty much answered in Chapter 1, that yes, she is looking for Raven. And even in the intro, it shows like her face-to-face with Raven, which that could all be symbolic, but I think that's pretty much symbolic of her trying to find Raven and probably eventually actually finding Raven.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I'll be kind of disappointed if she's going straight for Raven and not even gonna go like check up with RWBY. But it's kind of understandable.
Well, the thing is, I think RWBY might be bumping into Yang anyways, because it sounds like
maybe
their next objective, other than Oscar, is to go after the Spring Maiden, who is with Raven. So
yeah,
it could
but
be
like
very
depending,
well they hit the road again.
Depending on how long it takes, because if I don't know what, because Oscar has no training, so if all of them just go straight for Raven and the Bandits and the Maiden, like Oscar's, I don't know how much he'll be able to do. So I don't know if like RWBY and them are going straight there like as a next episode, but I think Yang's probably going straight there.
Yeah, no, Yang I think is going straight there, and like at some point, because of them looking for the Spring Maiden, they will catch up with Yang. So
yeah, probably.
I think if anything, they're gonna get Oscar's situation settled with first, like getting everyone up to the front page of exactly what's going on with Oscar, maybe training him to fight, or what exactly his role is and how to do it. But like I think that's going to be settled first before they go after the Spring Maiden. But if anything, Crow might leave them to their own devices after he explains stuff like, okay, this is what Oscar needs to do. You girls and dudes help him. I'm going to go find the Spring Maiden. And Crow goes off on his own while they're trying to help Oscar. But
maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Watts is still hanging around Haven, he like runs into them, that could be problematic.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, wasn't what's his name? The big burly guy. What was his name?
Hazel,
yeah. Hazel was on the same train as Oscar, so was he going to the same destination? Oh no, he's going to meet up with a White Fang. Wasn't
probably, because we don't know we never saw him get on the train. All we saw is like Oscar was buying a ticket, it wasn't working, Hazel banged on the machine and then walked off. We never saw Hazel on a train, I don't think.
Yeah. And okay, yeah, that could be it. And I believe Hazel was put on the task with meeting with what's her name?
Sienna Khan,
yeah. I remember the Khan part, but I'm like, that's the last name.
Yeah. I really want to see Sienna Khan, and I want to see that bandit-looking girl that Cinder was with in the opening.
I think that's the Spring Maiden, actually. That's my
guess.
Yeah, no, because if the Spring Maiden is with the bandits, she would most likely take on a bandit appearance. Like, I really think that's a bandit. And also, she has a tattoo on her arm. I think that might be like the mark of her maiden thing, kind of like how Cinder, when she got the Fall Maiden powers, she has that mark on her back. So
I don't know, like that'd be really cool, but I think I saw the tattoo as more of like just
it could be just a regular tattoo. It could just be a bandit tattoo. It'd be interesting if all the maidens have a tattoo on the on the back between their shoulders, like Cinder does. But
yeah.
But my guess is that lady in the intro is the Spring Maiden, which part of me is like a little disappointed if that is the answer, because it's like, man, I would have expected a big reveal, but she was in the intro all along. You know, like she could still have a big reveal, but it's like, oh man.
Yeah, like I kind of hate it when like anime openings they reveal something that's like you have no idea that's gonna show up. Like me and my friends, okay, it's time for my daily shout out to Hunter x Hunter. Me and my friends started watching Hunter x Hunter. Like they all agreed they would watch it. We're getting into it, and it's like right from the beginning, the opening has a main character that you don't see for a few episodes, so it's like, okay, we know this person's gonna show up eventually. So I kind of don't like it when anime openings reveal stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like My Hero Academia kind of did it just a smit with their last opening for season 2. There's like a part with Bakugo jumping through the streets, and that's during the fight with All Might that he and Deku have. But
I haven't seen this anime.
okay, if you love Hunter x Hunter, you're gonna love My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
And,
like I know stuff about it. But...
Yeah. Okay, so someone said, okay, Connor said that Raven comes off as someone who doesn't love her family, and I think, like, I could agree with you to a point, but I think she is very family. I think she is family strong, just in the sense of family through bond rather than blood.
Yeah, like she chooses who she considers her family.
Yeah, and she obviously very much stands up for their clan, and she thinks of Crow as like a traitor for not going back to the bandits. And it was like, they are our family. And he's like, your daughter is your family. Like, we are your family. And he's more of like, yo, we're your blood. Whereas she's like, this is my family through bond. They're who raised me. I owe them, type thing. Whereas like Yang hasn't done anything for Raven. Crow, in her eyes, betrayed her. So really, she's like, yeah, you guys aren't family to me. And yeah, Raven might be very caring to the bandits. As Inspector Who said. And then someone else said something. It was like, I think they said something about sexual tension between Cinder and the girl in the intro.
I saw that.
Fall X Spring.
Of course, it was Stoic Drug who talked about the sexual tension.
Yeah, dude. I hope you don't have a hangover tomorrow, but at least it's Saturday.
I get up at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Oh gosh, why?
I gotta go ride horses.
Oh, well, I mean, that sounds fun at least.
I'm not a morning person.
Me neither, but, you know, I might excuse if it included horses. I'm gonna be like super drogy, but it's like, hey, at least I'm doing something fun. But yeah, I don't know, unless you're cleaning stalls or something, then that's
not... it's basically a show, so all day it's hurry up and wait.
Oh, okay, so you're not riding horses.
Oh, I ride once for 5 minutes in like the entire day.
Okay, because I remember your Twitter profile picture used to be that, wasn't it? You own a horse?
Oh, I ride horses. I don't have my own, but yeah.
Well, you said you rode horses once, and then you said for like a whole day. So I was like, okay, so you have...
Oh, no, I'm saying like when I go to these shows, I ride only a little bit because there's a whole bunch of different classes. I'm only in a few of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, we're like way off track. Like, why do we get to all these random discussions?
Yeah, it's like, you remember that horse in Volume 3? The Fall Maiden was riding it.
I love that horse. Where is it?
That should be a returning character. Just kidding.
Yes,
kick Cinder right in the face. Like, this is for Amber. Kick. Okay, sorry. That was just random. Okay, Inspector Who, I did see your fan art, just not in time to like add it to OBS to capture. Speaking of fan art, it's October, so if you guys want to send Halloween themed RWBY fan art for VYTALCast, we would love to showcast that on here, like them trick or treating or whatever. I know like Dishwasher posted a lot of great RWBY Halloween art in past years, but. Yeah. Anyway, any last thoughts for the show?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm good too. And I know you said you had to go straight after the show, and
yeah,
we both have editing to do.
Yeah.
So Spoopy Ghost Pyrrha. Hey man, if that's how she returns to RWBY, I wouldn't mind that. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so us procrastinators, gosh, first Kuro Yuri, now procrastinating. We procrastinators have to go edit our reaction videos, so we'll see you tomorrow in the comments section. see you guys next week for VYTALCast number 29. If I get my editing done, I might stream on Twitch later. So, Kai, I got that situated. Oh yeah, I guess I could have a last minute thing. If you want, Sunny, you could go, and I could just talk to them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
She's going. So yeah, okay. So can I exit that? Oh, that doesn't go away. Oh no. Hey guys, I'm gonna show you the VYTALCast Discord just so we're not seeing like conversation Sunny and I had. Here's VYTALCast, and look, there's the fan art. Okay, you can look at that. So with the not streaming on YouTube, so last week I apparently pissed off a RWBY meme page. I don't know exactly what happened, but my best guess is they spammed a whole bunch of flags on the video of VYTALCast last week, because I did mention on that Facebook page that I have a show called VYTALCast, and so they spammed it because they didn't like that I said if Yang acted the way Sun did in Volume 4, I would have the same feelings towards Yang that I do towards Sun right now. And apparently people don't like that because they ship Black Sun, but it's like, yo, I'm saying Bumblebee will get the same treatment. Why are you mad at me? But they flagged a whole bunch of reports on VYTALCast, and I got a community guideline strike, and the video got taken off of YouTube even. And so that was basically saying I couldn't stream for 3 months until like January 16th or until the strike gets removed. I appealed it, and like at first on the YouTube app it was saying it got denied, but then after a few days, I guess YouTube, without even telling me, I wish they would tell me when a strike gets removed, but they didn't. But just randomly, VYTALCast number 27 was put back up, and I didn't have the strike anymore, which, bless, thank you, YouTube, so much. But yeah, those people on Facebook, they were not nice. I blocked them, so they can't look at the Facebook page that I have for Portal 64, because Portal 64, I know it's through Facebook that they found the video, because Portal 64, the Facebook group, got a bunch of traffic that day, and I'm guessing it was through them. So yeah. Okay, so he said we do need some Bumblebee though. They have to meet at some point. They're partners for F's sake. Exactly. Yeah, and it's Facebook. What do you expect? Yeah, I mean, at first, the first person was like, yeah, I agree with you. Like, if Yang acted the same way as Sun did, she deserves same treatment. Like, equality, yo. But some people just were mad that I said that. Like, I even said, like, I don't hate Sun. I like Sun. But I do have a few criticisms about how his character's been done in the last volume. And so people were just, yeah. Cal Drogan. No one ever brought up Yang and Spring Maiden theory. I mean, we brought up Spring Maiden theory on like how she's with the bandits, and I think the girl that was across Cinder in the intro is the Spring Maiden. And we had a few thoughts and whereabouts about the Spring Maiden, but other than that, not too much. If you want, you can message me either on YouTube or Twitter, or really even on Discord. Like, message me anywhere if you have some theories you want me to talk about next week on VYTALCast, because I would love to talk and dissect all that, and I'll even like credit you and all that. So anyway, I gotta end the stream here. As I said, I have to go edit my reaction video. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sticking through all the drama that VYTALCast for some reason had last week. But you guys mean the world, and I just need Bumblebee on the bike so we can have Rumblebee. Yang and Barbara would approve of that pun so much. Alright guys, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.